lastly, we're going to talk about wing fire. Probable cause for your wing fire would be the wiring along the wing. So you'd want to consider, well, what might be running electricity through the wing. You have your lights, so you'd want to turn off your landing and taxi lights. You want to turn off your nav lights. You'd also want to turn off your strobe lights. Another probable cause would be your pitot tube. So if you have the pitot heat on, now would be the time to turn it off. So once all those are accomplished, we move on to the more technical portion. So you're going to enter a side slip. Now we're going to enter a side slip. First thing you're going to do is power idle. Next, your ailerons are going to bank towards the fire, and simultaneously you're going to use opposite rudder. So a phrase you can remember is step away from the fire. So when everything's going on, you're going to accomplish these together. You're going to use your elevator to control your speed. An easier way to remember that is you're going to pitch for a speed of 100 knots. Now for your rate of descent, you're going to adjust your power. So from idle, you can add a little bit of power if necessary. If you're sinking too fast, you're going to increase power. If it's the opposite, then the contrary, you reduce the power. Drift control, you're going to use an aileron to adjust it, just like executing a crosswind landing. You adjust the amount of bank you put in to hold your center line. Same here, if you're drifting too much or too far away from your landing spot, then reduce the bank. Reduce the input on your ailerons. And for your heading, you're going to use your rudder to adjust it. So one of our big considerations for wing fire is the probable cause of the fire. So electricity is our most likely culprit in situations of a wing fire. So we're going to mitigate that through the steps we're going to accomplish. And our main concern is preventing the fire from making its way or creeping towards a fuel tank, which would lead to a catastrophic situation, more than what we already have. So first thing we're going to do is turn the landing or taxi lights off, turn our nav lights off, and then turn our strobe lights off. And in situations where you have your pitot heat on, it would be another probable cause of the fire, so we want that off too. Then we move on to the more technical portion where we actually enter a side slip.
All right, wing fire flow procedures. So, like Justin was saying, your concern is electrical items on the wing. So the first step you're gonna do is turn your lights off. Turn your landing light off, your taxi light off, followed by navigation lights, strobe lights, and also the pitot heat. That's also electrical on the wing. Then you want to perform a side slip to keep the flames away from the fuel tank and yourself in the cabin. For side slip entries, you want to make sure that your power is idle. You're going to use your ailerons to bank in the direction of the wing fire. Okay, so we're saying left wing fire here. And at that time, you're going to be using opposite rudder. You're going to be using your elevator and your pitch to control a speed of about 100 knots. You're going to use your power to control rate of descent while on approach to land. So you may not leave the power at idle, but you want to put it there initially. And then for drift control, you're going to use your ailerons and you're going to keep your heading with your rudder. You're going to keep your yaw with your rudder.